Hi guys, Dwayne again, back at you. I'm here to respond to SlimeAmTheBest's 70's thread. This is a take on my 80's thread that I did. So he was inspired to do one for the 70's, and he sent me the video for the thread, and a very cool shout out where he actually like showed my page there and everything. That was kind of neat. So when I saw this, you know, my first thought was fear. Oh my God, the 70's. There is just way too much to choose from. So what I did was I kind of went about it like I did my 80's thread, which was, you know, it's the same thing. It's pick one album from each year, starting with 1970 and ending with 79. So 10 LPs. One for each year of release. And so I went about it like I did mine, which was I chose one album that was probably the most important or influential to me, and I stayed away from any Genesis because I just showed my old Genesis collection. So you know, I was born in '69, so the 70's, you know, that was my first 10 years of life, basically. And a lot of these I was introduced to when they came out, but some of them I discovered later. But anyway, first off, what I'm spinning right now, the master, Jaco Pastorius. And this is his first LP, his first solo release. Jaco's the man, you know, as a bass player, and I know there's others in the VC. Probably the sole most important innovator on the instrument, without a doubt. Jaco's just the man. So if you don't have this, by the way, you have to get this. This is an absolute must-own. This came out in 1976, though this is not my pick. But anyway, okay, some of these are going to be blatantly obvious and probably will be shown many times in thread responses to this thread because they are just that important, and they are to me as well. So, 1970. You know, what can I say? I didn't cheat. I didn't pick multiple LPs and all that stuff. But I think I got it pretty tuned down to where I want it. 1970, my pick, the one, the only, the debut, Black Sabbath. You know, I can't say anything about this LP that has not already been said by millions. Yeah, Sabbath. 1971, this should be no surprise. Zeppelin 4. And this is my original, still in the shrink wrap. But, Zeppelin 4, man, you know, landmark record. 1972, my personal favorite album by this band. Fans of this band all have their favorites. This happens to be mine. And it's tough choosing a favorite album by this band, but this is definitely the one. Fragile by Yes, my boys. I absolutely love Yes. If anybody out there happens to be unfamiliar with this band, start with this. Definitely start with this. Of course, comes with the fold-out little booklet. I love this album so much that, let's see, I have 6 different pressings of this LP on vinyl. So this was just a no-brainer. 1972, Fragile. 1973, another absolute no-brainer. Dark Side of the Moon. Like I even need to show this. This is my original master recording copy, mobile fidelity. Dark Side of the Moon. And you know, on a note, you know, this is Pink Floyd week, I guess, where they're re-releasing all their material on vinyl yet again. And from what I've seen, there is some actual pretty cool packages that are out there that are and are forthcoming as well. But Dark Side of the Moon, 1973, what a masterpiece of music, hands down. And it is by far my second favorite Pink Floyd record. I've stated this before. I still think that The Wall is a better album as a whole. And I know I'm going to catch probably shit for that, but I don't care. But next up would be Dark Side, without a doubt. Dark Side of the Moon. Okay. 1974. One of my absolute favorite bands. The debut release of what was going to come. To me, the strongest, most musically talented three-piece rock band ever to come into existence. Rush. And this is the debut on Mercury. For a debut album, one of the strongest albums for a band to have as a debut. This is by far got to be up there, without a doubt. Man, and to think that when this was released, nobody would sign them. They could not get signed. And it took a radio station to actually play the thing one time, and it was on after that. So, man, I cannot say enough about Rush. So, 1974. Man, to think this was 1974, it still holds up. Okay. Okay, 1975. I wanted to make sure I was in order here. Another one of my favorite bands. Absolute killer prog unit, without a doubt. And this is by far one of their best LPs. If you don't know them, learn them. Do yourself a favor. If you like prog at all, you got to check these guys out. And The Snow Goose by Kamel. This is such an incredible album. Kamel. 1976, one of my favorite years from my childhood. I just have very fond memories. School, friends, and all that, my elementary years. And I was already into this band. But when this album came out, oh my God, it was on after this. And in my opinion, still one of the most recognizable, one of the coolest album covers that have ever been made. Kiss, Destroyer. And I believe this was my choice once before. There was another 70s type thread a while ago, and this was, I cannot stay away from Kiss, Destroyer. I mean, how can you not? Sorry, Derek. But, yeah, Kiss, Destroyer. It was was on. It was on when this came out. 1977. My favorite album by this band. One of my favorite hard rock bands as well. But and every album that this band has put out has just been an incredible album. But this album, you know, and I might catch flack for this too, but from the Bon Scott years of AC/DC, Let There Be Rock, you know, Highway to Hell, excellent. Power Age, absolutely. High Voltage, God, you know, but Let There Be Rock, this album, oh man, this is by far my favorite. You know, the title track, Let There Be Rock, Whole Lot of Rosie. What a rockin' album. Love this. Okay, I've said it before and I'll say it again. Another one of my favorite bands. And I discovered this band through my brother when the album before this one came out. So I got to buy this album new. And once again, this is an album I have multiple copies of. I think 5 or 6 different pressings of this as well. But I pulled this one, and Styx, Pieces of 8. This is it's a tough call between this or The Grand Illusion, on which is my favorite album. But this could be the one. I'll never forget. This is one of those albums where I would sit and spin this and just look at the cover over and over and over. You know, the whole Easter Island theme. You know, I'd read the lyric sheet over and over and over. And this is a Canadian pressing on yellow/gold. They call it gold vinyl. I have many different versions of this. Picture disc version, imports, yada yada. But love this album. Oh, 1978. If I didn't say 78, 1978. 1979. This is, well, I'm not cheating because they came out together that year. And it's, well, you'll know it when I show it. It's more than one LP, but it's altogether a whole album, I guess. Absolutely, still probably my favorite album by the man, and it's Joe's Garage by Frank Zappa. So, Act 1 and Act 2 and 3. So, like I said, it's you know, multiple LPs, but it's came out the same year, and it's a whole unit. The title track, Joe's Garage, the Central Scrutinizer, Catholic Girls, Crew Slut, Wet T-shirt, Night. God, so awesome, man. So I'm ending the 70s with the man, Frank Zappa. So those are my 10 and a half LPs, I guess, for the 70s. Cool thread, can't wait to see everyone else's responses. Looking forward to it. You know, it was very tough because, you know, I mean, I went primarily rock related, but I mean, my God, there's, you know, you have punk and jazz and you guys know. Anyway, stay in the groove, y'all. Peace.